Hello and welcome to the Gripe TV. I am your host, JP Forte. You know, people in this day and age seriously got bad taste in cars. You know, I mean, literally, a lot of the cars that are on the road today are some of the ugliest frickin' things I have ever seen. You know, personally, I'm the kind of guy, I like old school cars. I like classic cars. You know, like an old school Caddy or, you know, something like that from either, like, say, the 1950s and 60s, early 70s. And then as far as, like, you know, a car that's a little bit newer, I mean, personally, I would love to have like a 1993 to a 1996 Cadillac Fleetwood. If it's got to be a newer model year. You know, because at least cars back then, they had appeal. You know, they had the tail fins, they had chrome. You know, like as far as the ones from the 50s and 60s go. And they just were freaking gorgeous seeing them rolling down the road, or when you're out on the boulevard and you're cruising and you see them. You know? And then, as far as like, say, like, you know, like a 93 through a 96 Cadillac Fleetwood. You know, 1996 Cadillac Fleetwood cruising. You know, that was a good looking car. You know, it had style. You knew what it was when you saw it. A lot of cars today, they all look the same. But then it's just some of the stuff that people drive now. Like, for instance, the smart car. I'll never forget when I saw one of those on the road. And quite frankly, I don't think they're very smart. I think they're some dinky little death traps, if you ask me. Especially after I'd seen what happened to one that got in an accident. And if any of these liberals think that I'm gonna drive around in something that looks like a freaking clown car, they got another thing coming. But yeah, I'll never forget when I first saw a smart car on the road. I was cruising with some friends in a 1971 Cadillac Sedan DeVille that I had, and we stopped at a red light. And one of my friends was elbowing me, going, "Hey, look at that over there. What's that?" So I turned and I looked, and I saw this ugly and stupid looking thing, you know. And when I saw that smart car, I was like, my friends are all, "Stop, man, they'll hear you." And I'm all pointing at the smart car going, "What the hell is that thing?" And that's exactly the way I felt about it, you know. And then when the light changed, you know, I basically, you know, started cruising off in my Caddy and still laughing my ass off at the smart car. You know. And then on top of that, you know, you got these people driving around these ugly looking box-shaped cars, like, you know, something called a Nissan Cube, for instance. I mean, are you serious? You know, people today obviously don't really seem to care how ridiculous they look. You know, they have absolutely no common sense. They have absolutely no taste in anything anymore at all, as far as style goes. It's like the tackiest thing that they can go for some reason, is the hippest and the coolest, which is freaking ridiculous to me. You know. If you're going to give me a car that's supposedly got all this technology and is so much more environmental friendly, then can you please give me a car that looks good? You know, something that looks like a big, long, old school, traditional Cadillac? You know, I will never roll in a smart car. There is no way in hell you'll ever put me in one of those. Or any one of these stupid, ugly-looking box-mobiles, like a Scion or a Nissan Cube, for instance. There is no way I'll be driving one of those. And I will definitely not be seen in a Mini Cooper. I'm sorry, when I see a Mini Cooper on the road or even a smart car, I just want to instantly start going and see if any clowns start coming out of it. But then again, anybody that's going to own something like that or drive something like that is definitely a clown. Because it just, to ride around in something like that, it just, oh man. How anybody can roll in something like that is beyond me. I can't even comprehend it. So, you know what? Until the automotive industry can start making some cars that look good, I'm going to stick to rolling in old school cars. At least classic cars were rolling pieces of art. And they still are rolling pieces of art. And I'll take a classic car over any of the modern things they got on the road these days, period. So, hopefully real soon I'll be rolling in another old school Caddy. That is what I'm hoping to be rolling in before the year is out. And to all of you Obamanite liberals that think that we shouldn't be rolling in something like that anymore, well, sorry, I'm going to do what pleases me. You're not going to force me to roll around in something that I don't want to roll around in. So, yep, hopefully I'll be back in another old school Caddy soon. Oh yeah, and one more thing about the classic cars. My buddy here, Max, he's my cruising buddy, and I want him to be able to ride in something that he will be comfortable in, and something that, like me, he will look good rolling in. So, yep, I'm definitely going to stick with an old school classic car. And hopefully, me and Max will be rolling together in another old school Cadillac, another classic Cadillac soon.